Hello and welcome to Premier League Fantasy Predictions here on World-1 Entertainment. We are 8 match weeks deep now and we saw plenty of goals, stunning strikes, a comeback and trust being broken. No time to talk, straight to the recap. Watford 0, Liverpool 5. I said it was going to be a nightmare start for Claudio Ranieri and I was right. Watford hosted Liverpool at the Hawthorns and what was supposed to be a new era under Ranieri turned into one of the biggest shit shows ever from Watford. Time to look at some of those stats. At the end of the first half, Watford had 16.6% possession, 0 shots and 49.5% passing accuracy compared to Liverpool's 83.4% possession, 7 shots, 3 on target and 88% passing accuracy. At full time, this is what it looked like. Watford had 24% possession, 6 shots with 2 on target and 1 corner, compared to Liverpool's 76% possession, 19 shots with 8 on target and 9 corners. The nightmare began in the 8th minute when Sadio Mane scored his 100th Premier League goal, becoming the 3rd African player to do so after Didier Drogba and teammate Mo Salah. Roberto Firmino scored either side of half-time in the 37th and 52nd minute to further Watford's woes. Mo Salah scored a sublime individual goal in the 54th minute, and just when Watford fans couldn't think it could get worse, Firmino sealed his hat-trick in the 91st minute. This was one of the most spineless performances by Watford in their entire history of competing in the Premier League, and they should be ashamed of themselves. Danny Rose was made to look like a used wet wipe by Salah as the Egyptian just shit all over him for the entire match. Ranieri will need to think fast or he could be sacked by Christmas if this is a sign of things to come. I predicted a 4-0 win to Liverpool, but Firmino decided to ruin it for me. Correct team? Wrong result. Aston Villa 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 3. The Midlands derby was fought at Villa Park and it was quite the match. After a goalless first half, Danny Ings popped up and headed the ball in to get on the scoresheet after 48 minutes. John McGinn gave the Villains a comfortable 2-0 lead in the 68th minute and Villa were in cruise control. Then it just all fell apart as Aston Villa imploded faster than Taylor Lautner's career. Remember him? No? Neither do I. Romain Say pulled a goal back in the 80th minute and then Connor Cody levelled the scores in the 85th minute. It looked like the points would be shared until Ruben Neves pissed on Villa fans' day by scoring in the 95th minute and sealing a remarkable comeback from Wolves. I predicted a 3-2 win to Aston Villa, so I got the correct score, just the wrong team. Overall, it's wrong. Leicester City 4, Manchester United 2. This is more like a Leicester City. This is what I thought you would be from the start of the season. The Foxes hosted Manchester United and both teams were looking to get back to winning ways. Mason Greenwood was first on the scoresheet in the 19th minute before Yuri Tielemans levelled scores in the 31st minute. It remained level until 5 minutes of chaos ensued as Kadlar Soyuncu, sorry if I've butchered your name there, scored in the 78th minute. Marcus Rashford returned to the Manchester United lineup and came off the bench to level the score in the 82nd minute. Straight from the restart, Jamie Vardy put Leicester in front and Patson Daka ended the match in the 91st minute. This ended Manchester United's 29-match unbeaten away run and has now asked more questions about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's position as manager of the Red Devils. Some are calling for him to be sacked, and I agree. He isn't the man to lead them back to glory, but he has the backing of the board as they are fully behind his vision and plan. Not sure how long that will last, as patience only lasts for so long. I predicted a 2-1 win to Manchester United, so I'm wrong here. Manchester City 2, Burnley 0. After a dominant display from Manchester City, it wasn't the murder I thought it would be, but Burnley did escape the Etihad without losing 5-0 for the 5th time in a row. Bernardo Silva put Manchester City in front in the 12th minute and it looked like the pain was going to begin for Burnley. Nope. Burnley held strong until the 70th minute where Kevin De Bruyne scored. Burnley have now not won in 11 matches, the most out of all the top 4 divisions in England. I predicted a 4-0 win to Manchester City. Correct team, wrong result. Norwich City 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 0. Trust is an important thing in life. The trust between two people in a relationship is important. The trust that Arnold Schwarzenegger will be back as the Terminator. Then there's the trust between a man and a football team. Whether they support them or not, from predictions to bets, they trust that particular team will do the right thing for the person. Brighton and Hove Albion took my trust and fucked it. I haven't given you good predictions all season, but I trusted you to win against Norwich City. It was simple. Go to Carrow Road and win. Did you? No. You may have had more possession, but you couldn't get the job done. You may be fourth in the table, but trust me, you shouldn't be there after drawing 0-0 to Norwich City. I predicted a 2-0 win for Brighton, and did I get this right? No. Thanks, Brighton. Southampton 1, Leeds United 0. Southampton finally have their first win after Armando Broja, sorry if I butchered your name there, scored in the 53rd minute to put a smile on Ralph Hasenhüttl's face. Leeds United throughout the entire match mustered 3 shots, and you've got to believe that second season syndrome is kicking Leeds United's arse right now, as last season, at this point last season, they may have been 15th, but they did win 3 games, had 10 points and scored 14 goals. They went on to finish 9th, win 18 matches, got 59 points and score 62 goals. So far this season, they are 17th, have won 1 game, have 6 points and scored 7 goals. That is a stark contrast, and Leeds United need to sort their shit out or they're going to be in a relegation battle for the rest of the season. I predicted a 2-1 win to Leeds United. Once again, all wrong. Brentford 0, Chelsea 1. For Brentford to meet Chelsea for the first time in Premier League history, you can't deny that Brentford went for it harder than a team losing their virginity. Did I just lower the tone a bit? Yes I did, but hear me out. Brentford went ahead and pounded 17 shots at Chelsea, hitting the right spot 7 times. Chelsea, on the other hand, hit Brentford with 7 shots, hitting the target once, and just like having sex, hitting that spot once is all you need, as Ben Chilwell scored just before the break in the 45th minute. Although the score isn't what Brentford wanted, Thomas Frank will be more than happy with his team's display and will start looking towards the next match. I predicted a 1-1 draw between these two teams, so all wrong. Everton 0, West Ham United 1. As much as things change, they also stay the same. Rafa Benitez and David Moyes first came against each other on December 11th, 2004, where David Moyes, then manager of Everton, took on Rafa Benitez and his Liverpool side, where Everton walked away 1-0 winners. These managers have met 16 more times, with Benitez coming out on top on 11 occasions. They met for the now 18th time, and just like their first encounter, it was David Moyes and his West Ham United side coming out on top against Rafa Benitez and his now Everton side. With West Ham United dominating possession, it was a pretty even match until Angelo Ogbonna put the Hammers in the lead and Everton just couldn't muster a comeback. I predicted a 1-1 draw between these two teams. Once again, wrong. Newcastle United 2, Tottenham Hotspur 3. The new era has begun for Newcastle United, and they didn't get the storybook ending that they thought they would get. It started with a bang as Callum Wilson netted in the 2nd minute, sending the new owners into ecstasy. Then the real Newcastle United showed up as Tanguy Ndombele scored in the 17th minute. Harry Kane got back in the goals after a cheeky lob over Carl Darlow, and Son Heung-min scored again in the 3rd minute of added time in the first half to give Tottenham Hotspur a commanding lead. John Joe Shelvey can kiss goodbye his Newcastle career after getting sent off in the 82nd minute, and an Eric Dyer own goal in the 89th minute was little more than a consolation. This was Steve Bruce's 1000th game as a manager, and it could be his last as Newcastle manager. He has one saving grace though, in that the new owners will not send him to the unemployment office until they have a new manager in place. The rest of the team still have until January to save their jobs or will have to look for work elsewhere. I predicted a 2-0 win to Tottenham Hotspur. Right team, wrong result. Arsenal 2, Crystal Palace 2. Arsenal hosted Crystal Palace at the Emirates Stadium and they were very lucky to earn a draw with the last kick of the game. This is Crystal Palace's third 2-2 draw of the season and fifth draw overall. Arsenal started the game brightly and after a phenomenal save by Vicente Guaita, who was making his 100th Premier League appearance, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang scored the rebound in the 8th minute. Crystal Palace grew into the game and started showing that new attacking impetus that Patrick Vieira has instilled in the team. James McArthur was lucky to have not been sent off after kicking Bukayo Saka's legs from underneath him, that it wouldn't look out of place in the UFC. In the second half, the Eagles equalised through Christian Benteke in the 50th minute, which subsequently shoved a firecracker up the Gunners' arse, but it was for nothing as Palace took the lead thanks to Odsonne Edouard after a counter-attacking play in the 73rd minute. The Gunners then started to get on the front foot and Crystal Palace were holding it together and their defence was finally thwarted by Alexander Lacazette in the 95th minute and last kick of the game. The Palace players and Vieira should hold their heads high as the Eagles played exceptionally well against an Arsenal team who just couldn't hold it together for most of the game. I predicted a 2-0 win for Crystal Palace, so I'm wrong here. With my predictions leading to match week 8, I stated that I was going to set my expectations low as all I wanted was one result correct. This time around I got 0 results correct. Damn. But I did get 3 teams correct, so not all doom and gloom. Let's take a look at the tables. Chelsea maintain their position at the top of the table after their 1-0 win over Brentford and are in my predicted position of first. Liverpool are right up their arse after slaughtering Watford 5-0 and are one place above my predicted third. Manchester City are also giving chase in third after their 2-0 win against Burnley and are one place below my predicted second. Brighton and Hove Albion may have drawn against Norwich City 0-0, but results went in their favour as they are now 4th, which is 11 places above my predicted 15th. Tottenham Hotspur move into 5th after beating the billionaire playboys of Newcastle United 3-2 and are 8 places above my predicted 13th. Manchester United have fallen to 6th after losing to Leicester City 4-2 and are 2 places below my predicted 4th. West Ham United have climbed back into 7th after beating Everton 1-0 at Goodison Park and they are 2 places above my predicted 9th, rounding off the European places of the Premier League. Everton have dropped to 8th after their defeat to West Ham United and are 1 place below my predicted 7th. Brentford have dropped to 9th after their defeat to Chelsea and are still 5 places above my predicted 14th. Wolverhampton Wanderers have climbed into the top half of the table and are in 10th after their 3-2 comeback win against Aston Villa. This is 7 places above my predicted 17th. Leicester City have climbed to 11th after their victory over Manchester United and are 5 places below my predicted position of 6th. Arsenal have climbed to 12th after their 2-2 draw with Crystal Palace and are 1 place below my predicted 11th. Aston Villa have fallen to 13th after their implosion against Wolves, rounding off the mid-table and are currently 8 places below my predicted 5th. Crystal Palace remain in 14th after their draw with Arsenal and are currently 6 places below my predicted 8th. Southampton are up to 15th after their 1-0 win against Leeds United and are 3 places above my predicted 18th. Watford have fallen to 16th after their demolition at the hands of Liverpool and are 6 places below my predicted 10th. Leeds United are 17th after their defeat to Southampton and are 5 places below my predicted 12th. Burnley are 18th after escaping the Etihad Stadium alive and are 2 places below my predicted 16th. Newcastle United may have begun their new era, but losing to Tottenham Hotspur isn't the way forward as they are in 19th and in my predicted position of 19th. Finally, Norwich City got their 2nd point after their draw against Brighton and are still in my predicted position of bottom. Alrighty then boys and girls, let's get these predictions underway. Arsenal versus Aston Villa. After 3 games on the bounce, Arsenal have now drawn 2 in a row. They need to start turning some of these performances into more commanding and decisive victories, because the way they have played against both Brighton and Hove Albion and Crystal Palace has been below par for a team of Arsenal's stature. Aston Villa are falling off the wagon a bit now. They're falling further down the table, and even with a very good team assembled, 10 points so far, they are still in danger of falling down the table. This will be a cagey affair, and both teams will end up being cautious throughout. Arsenal will take the lead, but throw it away to get a 3rd draw on the bounce. Final score, Arsenal 1, Aston Villa 1. Chelsea versus Norwich City. The champions of Europe are squaring off against the team currently rooted to the bottom of the table, Norwich City. Even with the fact that Chelsea scraped a victory over Brentford and that Norwich got their 2nd point against Brighton, am I going to be a bit rash and say that Chelsea are going to wipe the floor with Norwich? Nope, not this time. Chelsea are still winning matches, and Norwich are somewhat, I think, getting their shit together. Chelsea will dominate the match and will face the occasional attack from Norwich City, but Lukaku will eat Norwich alive for lunch up front. That first big W is still going to evade Norwich, and they will have to wait for 3 points. Final score, Chelsea 2, Norwich City 0. Crystal Palace versus Newcastle United. Crystal Palace have turned into the kings of draws and comebacks. After 8 matches so far, they have drawn 5 times and come back from behind, and ending with a draw in 3 of them. These draws need to be turned into victories, because the displays they have put in so far this season should have them higher in the table. Newcastle United may be new in the Billionaire Boys Club, but that doesn't change the fact that they are one of the worst teams so far this season. Okay, they're 19th. But they have been carved open more times than a Christmas turkey. As of this recording, Steve Bruce is still Newcastle United manager, and the new Newcastle United owners need to do something about the manager position quickly to try and change their fortunes. Crystal Palace will walk into this match and see the Magpies as easy pickings. Will it be an easy victory for the Eagles? No, but they will walk away from Selhurst Park with the big W. Final score, Crystal Palace 2, Newcastle United 0. Everton versus Watford. I said at the start of the season that Everton can be very inconsistent, and defeat to West Ham United could very much be the start of it. It has always been one defeat to send Everton into a well of inconsistency. However, they're going up against a Watford team who suffered an almost biblical style beating at the hands of Liverpool, where you wanted to scream, "Stop, he's already dead." I also said Claudio Ranieri will have a lot to do if he wants to avoid the sack by Christmas, because if Watford continue to play like that, they will get sacked and Ranieri will be the latest Watford manager casualty. Guess what? It's going to be some more pain and suffering at the hands of Everton for Watford. It won't be a savage beating, but it will be a comfortable win. Final score, Everton 3, Watford 0. Leeds United versus Wolverhampton Wanderers. What happened to the Leeds United side, who finished 9th, won 18 matches, scored 62 goals and accumulated 59 points? This isn't the same Leeds side from last season at all. It's make or break time for Leeds United now. This is the time that they need to turn their season around, or it is a relegation battle for them for the rest of the season. They're struggling for goals, they're struggling for confidence, and struggling for ideas. Wolverhampton Wanderers though, they're getting it together, and we're starting to see more life in them as Bruno Lage has got them winning and fighting for the shirt. That comeback win will do a lot for Wolves, and this will show here. Leeds United will continue to regress, and Wolves will just continue to shine. It will be a solid Wolves performance and a routine win over a poor Leeds side. Final score, Leeds United 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1. Southampton versus Burnley. Southampton picked up their first win of the season against Leeds United, but don't be fooled by that. It was by a single goal, and remember, Leeds managed 3 shots all match. Southampton still can't score for love or money, as they've managed 6 so far this season. This isn't going to be resurgence from Southampton. Burnley, on the other hand, safe to say that they continue to be shit as their winless run continues. They've managed 5 goals so far this season, and just like Southampton, can't score for love nor money. Don't expect a thrilling match here, as this match is going to be boring. Unless this is a high scoring match and with thrills and twists and turns, FYI, it won't. This is going to be a boring as shit match and go last on match of the day. A bore draw. Final score, Southampton 0, Burnley 0. Brighton and Hove Albion versus Manchester City. Brighton and Hove Albion are 4th in the Premier League table. I'll give you a moment to compute that information. Oh, it's true. It's true. They've managed to do it by scoring 8 goals so far. Yeah, weird world we live in. I said before that Brighton broke my trust, but I'm going to give them another chance. I have the trust in them to lose to Manchester City. They are chasing the title and will assert their dominance here against Brighton. Nice and easy, nice and convincing. Final score, Brighton and Hove Albion 0, Manchester City 3. Brentford versus Leicester City. Alright, Brentford have suffered their 2nd defeat of the season, but the performance they put in was remarkable. They could have beaten Chelsea, but it wasn't meant to be for the Bees. They're still playing remarkably well even in defeats, and with the team they have, they are proving every single doubter wrong. Leicester City finally got a win after going 4 games without a win, and what a way to do it against Manchester United. It certainly was a special performance, and it will do an awful lot for their confidence. With this match though, this is where it is a cancel each other out scenario. Both teams going for it, looking great in attack and scoring. Solid at the back, Kasper Schmeichel and David Raya on top form, finishing off in a draw. Final score, Brentford 1, Leicester City 1. West Ham United versus Tottenham Hotspur. Have West Ham United been overachieving this season? I don't think so. They've done very well to get this position, and David Moyes has assembled a team that continues to fight week in and week out. Tottenham Hotspur are getting themselves back together after those 3 disastrous defeats, and with Son in top form and Kane getting back in the goals, this is just the launch pad that Tottenham need to mount a decent challenge to qualify for Europe. This is 2 good teams looking to maintain a European challenge. I don't think this will be a cancel each other out kind of scenario, and I'm leaning towards a West Ham United win. Just though. Final score, West Ham United 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Manchester United versus Liverpool. A monster rivalry is renewed for another year. 2 of the most dominant and historic teams in English football will square off and battle to the death. Okay, maybe not to the death, but for bragging rights and to fight for the Premier League title. Manchester United have not won in 3 matches after losing to Aston Villa, drawing to Everton and losing to Leicester City. They're not playing at the level that a team of their calibre should. On the other side, Liverpool are the only team yet to lose so far this season, and the main target men, Mane, Firmino and Salah, are firing on all cylinders and keeping Liverpool in the title race. This match won't be a cagey affair, and even with Manchester United having home advantage, it's going to be 4 games without a win for you. Liverpool will be much more clinical in the final third, and with the form that Mane and Salah are in, they're going to cause too many problems that the United defence just won't be able to contain. Final score, Manchester United 1, Liverpool 2. How does my table look? Like last time, my top 4 has not changed, with Chelsea, Manchester City, Liverpool and Manchester United chasing the title and Champions League qualification. Occupying the Europa League positions are Everton and Crystal Palace. Finally, occupying the Europa Conference League position is Aston Villa, rounding off our European football chasers. Chasing them in the mid-table is West Ham United, Leicester City and Arsenal, which also finishes off the top half of the table. Watford continued to fall, with Leeds United and Tottenham Hotspur rounding off the mid-table. Brentford, Wolverhampton Wanderers, Burnley and Brighton and Hove Albion make up the positions above the relegation zone, but Southampton, Newcastle United and Norwich City don't change places and fill the relegation zone. That brings us to the end of this week's Premier League fantasy predictions for match week 9. Maybe a bit more realistic week with my predictions, and I'm feeling a bit more hopeful that I can get some more results correct. What do you guys think though? Who do you think will win, lose or draw this week? Have I officially been driven out of my mind to make these predictions, or for a change, do you agree with me? Let me know in the comments below. If you liked the video, please give it a like and share. Subscribe to World-1 Entertainment, and I will see you next time for some more Premier League fantasy predictions. Take it easy, everyone.